right, welcome back to the channel, everybody. I have another review of another replica. I have here today the Little Shop Props Gray Aztec Series 3 filming prop replica. This one's also quite special because, as opposed to something like the Cream Aztec that I also reviewed on this channel, the Gray Aztec that I have here is the weathered version of the prop, the way that it's supposed to look at the end of its life cycle before Tendon receives a new one. This one means a lot to me because it's the only Sonic in my collection now that has that weathered look for one of the Doctor's variants that is 10th Doctor and 9th Doctor related, because I do have a shark bin as well for the 11th. Technically that does count. But this would be the first one for the RTD era of Doctor Sonics, because you're not a Doctor one. This is by Little Shop Props, the Series 3 Gray Aztec in its weathered condition. This is how it looks like in terms of packaging when you receive it in the box. You have your typical tin can from LSP, like I've mentioned in the other video. I'm quite a fan of these tin boxes, much better than the rubber toe tin cans, as opposed to the tin boxes. So I do like these more. Pretty simple box, keeps it sturdy, compact, pretty. Upon opening the box, you get the, depending on where it goes, sometimes you'll see the Little Shop Props business card just show up somewhere for free advertisement. Go check them out. Good stuff, good guys. And yeah, pluck them and follow them. So we've got someone's staring at me who's in the room as well. We've got, you know, I'll just say that right now in the video so you don't have to disappear. Upon finishing the unboxing experience for this product, I do have an interview with one of the makers from Little Shop Props, which is Kasambati. So if you stick around, maybe you'll see a little interview, a little insight on the prop, some of the machining work, some of the work, the electronics, and his lovely face. So continuing on with the video, we have the infographic that they typically do with their LSP products. This is the Gray Aztec, which is 2006, 2007. You have the weathered look because this is the one I ordered, and it's beautiful. You have the Little Shop Props icon there. We got the Tendon Christmas 2004. I'm sorry, 2006, almost blind there, and then Series 3. Beautiful design on the back as well. We have the 3, similar to the Cream Aztec. You have the view of the Aztec prop. The team behind the release, we have James Sutton, Daniel Howard, Kassam Bhatti, Josh Martin, Josh Howe, Jem Ward. Special thanks to Brian Uiga for all his help, which I believe owns the original body for the weathered look. So thanks to him, we were able to get, or they were able to check out all the details and yada yada. On the inside of the booklet, we have the history of the prop, which you can pause the video and read it to your own time. Then we have the replica section here, which you can also read at your own time. Pretty dandy. I love the little infographics. Under that, we have the typical foam cutout, which says Gray Aztec Filming Prop Replica. Beautiful. I love foam. Take that out. And then you have the Sonic in action. And I'll show that off in a second. We'll take the prop out for a moment. The end cap just spilled out for a little moment. Same thing with typical LSP products. You'll lift up the foam section here. Some are quite fitted in there, which is fine by me. You'll put the foam aside, lift this tab up, and then you've got the LSP stand for the Sonic to display it. Typical LSP stand, like the Cream Aztec before it, has the Little Shop Props, cold casted. It's got a nice weight to it, nice foam at the bottom so it doesn't move around. This is the weathered Gray Aztec edition number 100. Quite nice. We'll put that back in the box for now. You've got your accessories like you typically do. You've got the, right now on this version, because I did open it up, I have the speaker hole version. So if you're not aware, LSP does this beautiful thing where they offer you the accurate end cap, right, which is made from Delrin, and it does not have any speaker holes, so this would be accurate to the prop. So you can swap them out as so, and now you have an accurate pommel. But for those who ordered sound and would like to hear it a little bit more loudly, you can swap these out at any moment with the speaker version of this, and it plops on. These are printed and painted, and these plop on like so, and now you have an accurate pommel. Quite nice of them. So putting the Sonic aside, you've also got your typical pegs here, which go onto the display stand, so you can hold it sideways as opposed to upright. Typically not a fan of those, so we'll leave those aside. I do like them to display upright. I'll put this in the box for now. And focusing on the Sonic, this is the Sonic screwdriver, the weathered gray Aztec from Little Shop Props, and I adore the work here. I love the Sonic screwdriver. I love the look. I love that the prop looks like this. It's quite nice. One thing to note is that the weathering work was done by Joshua Howe, and he did a fantastic job weathering this thing, because if you look at pictures of the prop, which I'll probably end up posting somewhere around here, you can see the work on this is beautifully made, and the process of getting this done, it needs to be time consuming, and to get the details right, it's just fantastic. Like, look at that. You see the crackle work, you see the little scorch marks, you see the little like weathering chips. This is how the prop looked like at the end of its run with David Tennant. At the end of its run, the prop had also lost the little button cover that is, you know, typically present on your Aztec, and it's no longer present here, as you know, per the prop. And this is the Sonic. This is the Sonic. Quite nice. I genuinely have zero complaint on this. Zero complaint. You have the two accurate screws, as opposed to the cream Aztec, which had screws in place as well, but they were not the same type of screws. This is accurate to the Sonic itself, of course. Then you've got the dome, right? Dome is also accurate with the accurate shape. You've got the roundness at the top, followed by the little cut down to the emitter cage. Quite nice. Quite nice, and no complaints. Machining work is nice. You've got the accurate head. As opposed to the cream Aztec, there is no circle in there cutting out the, it's a little hard. If you know, you know. If you don't, then you don't. But that's present on this. Well, not present, which is fantastic. It does feature lights and sound, of course. Pressing the activation switch will light up the Sonic itself with this beautiful bright blue LED. And because I had already swapped it with a speaker hole end cap, it does feature sound. Quite nice. Also, I did request that only one O-ring get placed in the Sonic, so it can actually have this little gap here, because it is featured on the original prop, where it can't, ironically, at the end of its run, can't properly close. So it can still, with the presence of the other one, still extend like the other cream Aztec by pulling it upwards, right? So you can still extend the Sonic, showing off that yellow wire, which is accurate, as opposed to the cream Aztec, which features a black and red wire within the acrylic. Pressing the button still works, and you can do that at any moment. And then closing this down, you can get it to sit flush if you really try and wiggle it around, but otherwise this is where it stops, and that's accurate to me, and I enjoy it. This is the look. This is the prop. If someone told me that this was the legit prop, I would believe them, because Josh did a fantastic job at the weathering process for this Sonic, and I have genuinely zero complaints. And both of my first LSP products, which was this and the cream Aztec, they are work of beauties and labors of love. So I appreciate the team over there for all their hard work, and I have zero complaint about this. But I do have a special feature where we'll get to talk to Kazem Bati from Little Shop Props, giving us a little closer look on this. And yeah, thank you so much for watching. Now roll the rest of the tape. Where's Merslin to do the makeup?
I'm ready.
All right. Welcome back, everybody. We have the second part of the segment, which is the feature, I suppose. I have an interview, a short little interview with the man, the myth, the legend. He's not a legend, he's in the flesh. Mr. Kaz from LSP himself. How are you doing today, big man?
I'm doing very well. How are you
Thank you
doing?
so much. I'm doing quite dandy. I've got actually one of the ties too.
Oh,
Look
yes,
at
he
that.
does.
I
He
see
does
that.
indeed. He does.
You know, because remember, chapstick
Yeah, I do remember.
is
yeah.
necessary. Remember that? Well, thank you for joining us.
You're very welcome.
We did a little segment on this similar to on the cream Aztec.
We did, yeah, we did. I remember that.
And now we have the gray Aztec iteration of this. So I appreciate your time as always. It's going to be pretty simple. We're just going to ask and talk about the prop a little bit, which would be the season 3 filming prop replica.
Season 3 of that season.
I'm American.
We're going all the way back to Hartnell era, lads.
I'm so sorry, folks. And this is the Sonic that we're obviously talking about, which is the video review you just watched. And it's a beautiful piece. I said it already in the video. Tell me about the prop.
About the prop or the replica? Which one?
Well, let's talk about the prop first, and then we'll talk about the prop. So this is based off the gray Aztec.
That's correct.
Right? And obviously it's seen better days. This is how it looks at the end of its run.
Yes, that's right.
When it first came pristine,
Indeed.
it wasn't the wide slider, correct?
No,
it was just its own thing.
Yeah, so it was made alongside the cream Aztec, and it looked pretty much identical, other than the fact that, well, there's lots of many small differences, but identical other than the paintwork, which was instead of a colony cream top coat and gold base coat like the cream Aztec, it was a colony cream top coat and brown base coat, plus the button cover was shaped a bit differently because we believe those were both handmade. And a few small differences like, emitter shape, slight dimensional differences due to machining, but other than that, they're identical, yeah. Both red and black wires, all that stuff.
But this one didn't go through a dramatic change like the cream did into the wide slider.
That's right.
This just stayed.
It's sort of, well, it's had its many small changes which make it sort of like a sort of dramatic change overall. It's definitely got a different look to how it initially looked. But no, it wasn't gutted apart like the cream Aztec was into the wide slider, no.
Tell me about the paint, because I know you did the paintwork for the cream Aztec, right?
I did, yes.
But this one?
Not this one, no.
Not this one.
Well, I did the paintwork for all of our Series 1 to 2 and Series 3 pristine grey Aztecs. So that was maybe about 80 of them, and there were 20 weathered ones, which were done by Joshua Howe, who does an amazing job. He did our previous batch of weathered bodies as well. And so this time round, he did them at my workshop, and he had so much experience doing them that he breezed through them. He did them in 1 week, and he's done a fantastic job. He's got his references all lined up, and he uses masking fluid to, on various layers, he would mask off the certain specific areas that had weathering, and then paint each layer, and then take off all the masking fluid once that was done, and then he would blend it all together, clear coat it, and it'd come out beautiful. So that's what you see.
I think you did a fantastic job replicating it.
He has indeed, yeah.
I did post a picture of it in the review, side by side, but I think you guys nailed the look on it.
Thank you.
Including the button cover. The lack of a button cover. Because by the end of the run, it kind of fell off.
Invisible.
Right, it just kind of disappeared. Honestly, I don't really have a complaint. To be honest, this is as battered as you can get it.
Yeah.
To be honest.
Well, this specific version doesn't have the metal weathering on it.
I didn't get it with the metal. Yeah,
But
it is a service, I think.
It is. Yeah. Well, we have just offered it to everyone who has a Series 3 will get. Well, they've got the option for a metal weathering to get it to look like how it would have looked in Series 3. Because in Series 1 to 2, there was no weathering. It was pristine. But it did go through various changes. So those changes being this silver pommel section here, the top of it on the Series 1 to 2 was a bit wider, like the cream Aztec. Then for some reason, at some point, it got machined down. Maybe when they were refitting it, maybe some things didn't fit properly, so they must have machined it down. The wires were changed from red and black to yellow, like the tri-slider was, well, the wide slider into the tri-slider, so it did match its Series 3 counterpart at the time. And I thought those the main changes. I believe those were really the main changes, to be honest.
The noticeable ones, at
least. Yeah, that's right, yeah. I mean, the button cover got removed as well. Yeah, I mean, there was a reason they converted the first Aztec into the wide slider. It was terrible, and this is also a result of the Aztec system being terrible.
The internal work for the originals were complete garbage, right?
Yes, that's right.
They were a mess. You didn't replicate those.
We didn't. We guessed that the internal mechanism looked something like how what you can see inside the wide slider. We feel like maybe they used the same internal mechanism but modified it, and you can see black tape and etc. It's really hard to see exactly what it was, but whatever it wasn't some well-designed system, because I don't think they expected it to have as many problems as it did. So.
But I think it's nice that when you're purchasing this, the outside looks the way it's supposed to look.
Yeah, it does. Yeah.
But the inside is safe and sound.
That's right.
It still has the O-rings on the inside. To keep
It does,
from
yeah. Well, this
moving
one
up and
has
down.
one of the two O-rings. This one's slightly different than the actual full batch of them. It's the main O-ring which keeps it nice and smooth. But
By my request.
Yeah, it doesn't stay fully closed like the props did. Well, the props didn't stay fully closed. So
That's
this
why
one
I
matches
kept
that.
it as is,
Yeah.
because I thought it was a fine look. I mean, I showed it in the video. It's going to be a little hard to show you right now, but it doesn't fully stay shut. But I think it's a neat detail.
Yeah, well, it looks exactly how it looks in human nature.
It really
It's
does.
shown on screen. So,
It really does. I haven't watched that episode in a bit.
You should. You should.
I haven't watched a few in a bit. But it's been a long time coming. I will now that I have these props in hand. The infographic is always, just like I talked about on the Cream Aztec. I think it looks lovely. It is different than the Cream Aztec, including the color and everything. Gem Ward,
right? That's right. Yeah.
Gem Ward did the work. Lovely guy. Literally makes these as best as he could, because these look fantastic.
And they do match the colour scheme. I think that's the idea. Is each booklet matches the colour scheme of our stands as well. So the cream one it's not red, it's orange. But it's closer to the red that our stands would be. And the grey Aztec, the Series 3 one at least, is green, because our Series 3 lineup is green, like our tri-side as well. So our tri-side also features a green booklet. So we do try and match things like that.
Nice. I guess the internal work at that point, there's not much to talk about, because it's pretty much on par.
It's the
with
exact
Cream
same
Aztec,
system as
right?
the Cream Aztecs. If you watch that video, yeah, it's the exact same system, to be honest, which is nice for me, because I'm familiar with how to fit that system. So I was familiar with this one as well. It was nice and. It was
Did
nice
you
and
build
simple.
these at the same time, or did you have them separate?
So we did the Cream Aztecs first, because that was a smaller run and also a bit more straightforward run. There's less admin work because there's not as many paint variants. So it was a lot more simpler to deal with on that sense. Whereas this, you've got different pommels. You've got different types of bodies. You actually have slightly different domes between the Series 1 and Series 2. That we have a different dome mold for each. So there's lots of different things going on there. And also I believe different stands as well, because the Series 1 to 2 one would use the red bronze stand like the Cream Aztec. So there's a lot more differences in things I had to do for the run. So the Cream Aztec was nice and simple, whereas this one was a bit more admin work in the background to get all of these shipped out and ready. Yeah.
I think you guys did a stellar job,
Thank
regardless on both.
Yeah.
Did you have a preference for which one you were building at the time? Because I can't make up my mind.
Well,
on which
fitting
one I
them was pretty much identical, so in that respect, no preference. But in terms of which one, I think when I finished them, I'm like, wow, I really like what I put together. The weathered grey Aztecs for me, those are the ones. They're very satisfying to look at, because they're really an art piece at the end of the day. So when you finish one of those, it's like, wow, someone's gonna really enjoy that. Hopefully, at least. Yeah.
I feel like they would probably ask questions about this one more.
Yeah, I mean, every
You have
time
it on display.
we have it out,
Yeah.
people always ask about
They'll
it.
navigate over this one first, really.
Yeah.
Like, is that a vape?
Is that a vape? It's
No.
not a vape.
We don't smoke.
No, we do not.
But honestly, I'm very happy with it. I don't really know what else to talk about, because it's really just more of a looking type of thing. You really just appreciate this. And we pretty much covered most of it on the Cream Aztec in 3-2, but I think I can't make up my mind which one I like more. There are times where I look at this and I'm just like, this is it.
Well, that's also helped by the fact that when Josh did paint these, one additional step he did before the clear coat was, you can see, I'm not sure where these marks would have come from on screen, but there's like little grey like
smudges?
imprints. The
The little
smudges,
smudges, yeah, I've
There's like a
noticed
sort of
that.
like handprint looking one. Well, not like an actual hand, but it looks like a tiny hand. And there's loads of different little grey streaks and things. So he added those on, and that really
It
sort
really
of
settles
finishes
it.
the
Yeah,
effect.
it really does put it. I was
So,
looking at that
yeah.
earlier.
Again, it's an art piece. Like things like that at the end of the day are what make it feel like the real prop, to be honest. And so that's why I love putting these ones together. Yeah.
I'm going to ask one more time, like the same way I asked for the Cream Aztec. Are these in stock?
Are these ones in stock? Unfortunately not. Yeah, so this was actually one of our most requested products, re-requested products, because our initial run was of 100 Grey Aztecs, and then we got another run of 100 Grey Aztecs, whereas with the Cream Aztecs we've only ever sold 60. So that's 200 Grey Aztecs versus 60 Cream Aztecs. So I reckon if we were to put up pre-orders again, we'd probably get a lot more Cream Aztec requests, especially since those have just gone out like fairly recently as well. But yeah, these aren't in stock, unfortunately.
But there are more of these going around, though.
There are a lot more of them in the community. So, if someone sells one, you'd probably be likely to see it. And also, there's always a possibility they come back. We have plans that after we've done a few more lines of props, that we will put up a poll, some type of request to see what returning products people would like to see, and if that's the grey Aztec, that'll be the grey Aztec. If it's not, it won't be.
That's fair enough. Fair
Yeah.
enough. But I think it's a lovely product on both. So if you see any swing around on eBay, you should. Because I don't think I've seen. There's actually no one that's replicated one of these. Like
Not in the weathered
massively.
style, no.
Not like a weathered style. Because CT has made the cream Aztec.
Yeah. Well, Collingwood's the only one I know other than us that has done a proper run of grey Aztecs.
But not weathered though.
Not weathered though.
Not weathered.
No.
So
I don't know if he's ever done a custom or something, but
I'm not talking about that. I'm talking
I'm
about like
just
a
mean,
proper
he's not
run.
doing a proper
Like I
run
don't
of
think
them,
there's
yeah.
ever been a proper one of a weathered
Mm.
Aztec like this.
No.
So I think you guys did a fantastic job,
Thank you.
and I think that really like puts you guys apart. Cause
Yeah, we owe it all to Josh, to be honest.
Josh did
Howe,
fantastic
that's right,
work
yeah.
on the paint work.
He did an absolutely incredible job.
And then mixing that with your electronic
Mm-hmm.
work experience, I think you guys did a fantastic job on that.
Thank
I keep saying it, it's just so good. You guys don't understand how good this looks in person. Like if you own one, you have to cherish this. There's no way you can't. And if you don't own one, it looks so much better in person.
You're
it
missing
really
out.
does. You're really missing it. Like as soon as I picked it up, I was like, wow, this was in David Tennant's mouth.
Yeah. Not this one specifically, but you can imagine that it was.
It could be. We don't know.
We
It
don't
can
know.
be.
Maybe this is the real one. Maybe we took Brian Wigger's Aztec body. And
Please don't say that.
No?
He's not gonna like
No, he's
that.
not going to be happy about that, is he?
You might want to check your
Yeah.
vault.
No, it's okay, Brian. Thank you for your help, though, Brian.
Oh yes, because he's the guy
We
who
should probably
lent it
speak
to you,
about that,
right? Yeah.
Yeah, so I'm not sure how I got into contact with him, but it was really James that knew him from the get-go, to be honest. And he very kindly offered us lots of photos and scans and basically as much help as he could, because he wanted his own set of grey Aztec parts to put on his...
Because it was just the body, right?
Because he had the body and he had a set of One Company parts, which is the grey set of parts, so it's technically the correct set of parts. But the One Company parts weren't entirely accurate. They were made for mass production. They took, they changed a lot of things to
And the
make it easy to
finishes
produce.
and
Finishes, they rounded off edges and things. They changed dimensions. So.
They did great for what they were trying to cater
absolutely,
to.
for the price as well. It was
100%.
absolutely amazing.
I
But
can
we
see.
came in with more accurate parts, and we supplied them to Brian Wieger, and they fit his body very nicely. And
It's already fitted with his.
it
So it's a
should
complete
be.
Sonic now.
We provided those parts a
Did
while
he
back.
ask for sound?
Oh, so what he actually did was the parts that he connected to his body, they don't have any sound, nothing in them. They're just it's just like a dry fit basically. But we did provide him with, I think we provided him with a Series 3 pristine Sonic, and we still got a Series 1 to 2 pristine to.
So it's a replica
yeah,
counterpart
that's
to play.
Yeah,
around
the
with.
replica counterparts to sort of like finish the collection of his grey Aztecs in a way.
That's
yeah.
sick. That's awesome.
Yeah, he didn't really. I think, actually, I'm wrong because he does actually have a weathered body because he's posted an image of the weathered body we've done versus his. So he must have got a weathered grey Aztec to sort of be like, this is the carry counterpart to what I actually have. So, and they look very nice together. So that confirms that Josh did a
Brian.
really good job. So yeah, Brian,
Thank you so
absolutely,
much.
thank you so much. We couldn't have done it without you.
From the maker to a community
Mm-hmm.
person who owns one of these replicas, this looks fantastic, and the fact that he was able to lend this to make
I
the
know.
scan was generous, because you could have kept this to yourself.
I mean, additionally, here's the thing, with Brian Wieger's, supplying us with images and things, we found out things about the body that we didn't even know in the first place. Like, for example, on both the cream Aztecs and the grey Aztecs, the bodies, and we did replicate this on our initial grey Aztec run, but it was a lot of work, so we didn't do that for this particular one. The body were actually in two parts at this section, so we used to, we don't know why, maybe it was just to do with ease of machining, but we glued them together, filled any seams, and then painted them up like that. And then we also found out that it has a channel in the back that stops the head section from wiggling when you extend it. So that stops any wires twisting and whatnot. And there's also a little cut just below the button that allows any wires from the button to be a bit more flush and not get in the way of the extending system. So that was all really useful information, and it did actually really help our actual Aztec system when we were fitting electronics. So without that knowledge, who knows what our Aztec run could have looked like right now.
I think you have one of the best looking Sonics
Thank you.
made by like a replica company in Doctor Who ever so far, because it feels like you're holding a piece of history. So thank you, Brian. We appreciate your work to the community, and Cass and the team for building the prop. I have nothing else to say. It's perfection. Thank you for your time.
You're very welcome.
Would you like to add anything else before
I think that about covers everything.
I think we did a good job.
Yeah.
And I can't wait to see what other products you guys have lined up in the future, of course. And I've got a few more stuff that eventually
We'll make the cut.
will make the cut.
Mm-hmm.
But thanks a ton for your time.
You're very welcome. You're very
I
welcome.
appreciate you. Thank you for watching, of course.
Mm-hmm.
If you enjoyed this, maybe we can do this again in the future.
I'd absolutely love to.
And of course, subscribe, give it a like. If you have any questions, let us know. Join our Discord. We have a little Discord community for the Sonic stuff. So if you're into that stuff and you're not in it, we have makers, we have community, people who own replicas from present time to the CT, Sonic Compendium times, even before that too. So if you're interested in that stuff, feel free to join. We share pictures all the time, talk about it. But thanks again for watching, and have a lovely day, guys. Bye-bye.